another Wednesday stream. So for those, it's a first time tuning in. We do this stream every Wednesday, usually on a Saturday around the same time. We'll be doing a stream this weekend as well. So if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, guys. Get notifications on all my streams twice a week and never miss a stream ever again. So today's stream is going to be action-packed. There's quite a lot to cover. So normally I would, go through people's requests to look at stuff, but one of these, these days like this, we've got a lot to go through. We've got to go through the new bot. We've got to go through the buffs to, for those that don't know, punch and counterpunch, which is looking pretty impressive. And we're going to go through the new reward system that's been put in place for leaderboards. So a lot to go through, a lot of stuff happening. We can talk a bit about what we're playtesting as well. And I asked you guys, if you could buff a bot that's more than a year old, we don't really like to touch new bots. We like to see them settle in first, see how they go, and then go from there. But if there's a bot that you wanted to, buff up, make it better, then which bot would it be and how would you improve it? So if you're not on the live stream, if you're just checking afterwards, then put it in the comments. Let me know which bot you think needs improving that's more than a year old and how you would improve it. So let's just get the chat up on screen. So for those that aren't aware, that haven't seen the newsletter, and there's a few other things I want to talk about as well. It's like I said, action-packed. It probably lasts a bit longer this stream this week. But they've improved leaderboard rewards a lot, and we'll be talking about that when we go through the newsletter. They've also given a buff to push and counterpunch, and again, I'll be talking more about that, and I'll also be talking about the process and the conversation I've had with the apes about it and stuff like that. And we'll also be talking, obviously, about Grapple and Dirtbag, which are the new bots coming to the game, looking really good. Really impressed with them. I'll be talking about which bots they're similar to, why they're better, why they're not, whether they're worth leveling, and everything else that we normally go through. Okay, cool. Let's have a look who we've got in the chat. So Jason Rowley was first. Congratulations. He's pretty much normally the Crusher, but sorry, Crusher, it was Jason Rowley. So well done, Jason. Yes, we've got the Crusher who was second. We've got Air Elf in the chat. We've got Nick Young Yates. How's it going? Air Elf. I'm not sure I missed him out. Sorry, Bruticus. How's it going? We've got Barry Allen. For those that are interested in the China server, we have a big China section coming our way in Discord, and Barry is the man looking after that. So if you are interested in joining China and you want any information about it, he's the man to talk to in the China section. We've got Hashim Afzal. I hope I pronounced that right. Spam account. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw the name, I was like, yeah, he's getting muted. But yeah, no, we won't. We've got Mike Berge. How's it going? We've got Grind Time, Illicit Pulse, a lot of familiar faces. We've got Jamie Ojeda, Blue Grimlock, our moderators as well. And we've got Mitchell too. So welcome everyone to the stream. So first we'll go through the newsletter, because I'll explain to those that haven't seen the newsletter sort of what the stream's content's about and what's been happening, and can talk a bit in depth. So I do want to say as well that there's a lot of questions around the apes announcement of opening the server, the Discord server, to everyone. Now, the plan is that, and I understand it, that they're going to open the server so that everyone gets the bundles information, the events information, because let's be honest, we're sort of sharing screenshots and people are asking on Facebook, and we're sharing it here and there, and information's getting passed. So it makes sense. But, there's been a few VIPs saying, well, I got this through VIP status, so will I lose my VIP status? Will VIP be any more? So no, there will be, from what I've gathered, some prizes given out to everyone that sign up for the newsletter. So sign up. They'll be opening the Discord in the next 2 or 3 months for everyone to join in. I recommend everyone to join that. Obviously, join my Discord as well. It's still informative, but a bit more fun. So yeah, make sure you join mine as well. And then the VIPs will have their own section and their own rewards on top of the current rewards as well. So the game's making strides, and I mean strides at the minute. And I've said in the VIP chat just a few minutes ago that I've not been this positive about the game in a long time. I'm very critical about the apes, very critical. And I've said that from the start that, I'm not going to lie on behalf of the apes. If I think something's not good, I will say. And I fully believe that what they are doing right now. And I think a lot of that is thanks to Dale, and I want to give a big thank you out to him. But I think that the apes are making strides in the game. So a big, big thank you to the apes, and I hope it's the start of things to come, and things don't sort of level off, and we keep seeing these improvements that we want. So let's have a look. So the event is called the Empty Fortress. So we fight for obviously Grapple and Dirtbag. And the big thing about this event was that they've extended the 4-star to the top 10. Now, I get a lot of people are saying, right, okay, well, that's good for the top 10, but I'm top 50. It's not really improved that much for me. But what you got to think is that, things are done in steps. Things are done slowly. So they've made that's a huge step for Space Ape. I think for the last 3 years, we've been asking for the top 10 to get the 4-star out. And there's been so much going on about it that we just felt like the apes weren't listening. And personally, I've just given up, really. But it's finally happened, to my surprise. I couldn't believe it as well. All came from a sort of conversation with Dale where 4 of us went on a Zoom call and literally spoke for about 2 hours about what we liked about the game, mostly around leaderboards and events, but what we liked to get out of the game, what we didn't, what we thought needs improving. And he took all the notes down, went to Hyro, and he said, there's no promises. And we thought, well, maybe by the next event we might see something. And the next thing we know, Dale said, these are the changes, showed the changes. We're like, wow, that's pretty quick. So a big shout out to Hyro as well for considering these. But it shows that the apes are willing to change the leaderboard format slightly and improve the rewards. So I think that although we've seen a lot of changes, 1 to 10, we saw 1 to 5 on the last leaderboard. We've seen 1 to 5 has been improved again, but I think they're trying to incentivize going for first, second, and third rather than top 5 and then settling for 5th because you're getting the same as first, to sort of try and incentivize going for first, going for second, going for third, so you're not just settling for 5th. They've incentivized that. They've improved 6 to 10. So just by that sort of train of thought, you've got to think what's next. And personally, when we put all our ideas forward, there's a lot more improvements what there are now. But the apes have gone, you know what? I get it. I get what they're saying. But that's a bit too far. I want to go quite yet. So what we'll do is we'll take baby steps. We'll give a slight increase there. We'll see how that goes. If it works okay, it doesn't break the economy, and people are happy with it, we'll look at the next bracket, and then so on and so on. So things are done over time, guys. So don't be too disillusioned that, if you're in the 6 to 10 and the 11 to 50 bracket or whatever it is, that nothing's changing. Things I think will change. I can't promise anything. I'm not an ape. I have no way of knowing. But from the conversations we've had, it feels like they're a lot more sensible to improving leaderboards because they don't want people to dread these events. They want people to enjoy them. This, for me, should be the big event that everyone looks forward to. Well, not everyone, but most people, especially in top 100, should be like, yes, leaderboard weekend. I can't wait. This is going to be amazing. We're going to get this reward. We're going to get this. Who's with me? Who's going to push? Yeah, let's push. This is what the top 5 is sort of like. And now I think the top 10 is like, as soon as that announcement came out, we're like, right, listen, we might need to do more of it, guys. We might need to push it. Someone might be pushing in from 11th place because they like the 4-star, they want to push in. It happens with a top 6 race. Why can't we have a top 12 race? It can happen. So I'm excited for it myself, and I hope that it gets improved further. So let's take this chat screen a minute. So yes, obviously you can get 1,500 Grapple or Dirtbag shards, 1,000 4-star shards, 4,000 3-star shards, 20 Prems, 125k Spark, 125k Combiner Spark, 1 G Metal Power Core, 5 Gold Power Core, and a Partridge in a Pear Tree. No, a Wolf Cybertron Skins Go. But I'd rather have a Partridge in a Pear Tree. But hey. But yeah, so that's just the actual leaderboard totalized rewards. So that's really impressive. So if you think about that, that's still pretty good. If that was an event on its own, I'd be like, you know what? It's a pretty good event. So you've got to think about that and then the rewards on top of it. And that's why the apes are a bit reluctant. So obviously it's Super XP. It's 1 million battle points, but don't worry, we'll talk about that in a minute. The normal battle zones. And then we've got the event points, which you can go through. And then once you get to, I think it's 500k. Yeah, 490k, yeah. You then get total spark crystals. So as long as you get to 500k, you should be getting most of the rewards or all the rewards that I listed earlier. And then, don't forget, then you've got the total spark crystals on top of that. So I've not counted up, but I estimate those what? Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 34, 56, 17, 19, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. There's about, I don't know. I've lost count. There's about 50 crystals, 60 crystals there with, obviously the usual amount of spark and all the crystals. So you got to add that on top as well. So think about the combiner spark and the spark that's in the event. You can see there's regular amounts. Then you've got the total spark crystals on top of that. People forget that these prizes are also included. And then you've also got the rewards on top of that as well. So what we're going to do after the newsletter as well, we're going to compare it to the last leaderboard that was a standardized event, which I think was the double dealer leaderboard. And we're going to look at those prizes, which double dealer was only 6 months ago. So we're going to look at that leaderboard and make a comparison between the two, and you'll see the huge improvements made to the top 10, and hopefully those can be filtered down. So, like I said, this event, the 4-star is gone right down to 10th place, which is quite impressive. Character shards have improved, 5-star shards have improved, event crystals have improved also, and total spark crystals improve as well. Sparks stay the same, and then placement bonus for the top 3 of G Metal power cores. So again, it's geared towards top 3. And I can see Trevor Knight has put the last leaderboard was scattershot. Yes, but what I'm talking about is when the last leaderboard, which was a standardized prize, so there was no character shards in it. There weren't as many 5-star shards because they upped them for scattershot and they've upped them again. So we're looking back 6 months ago at the less standardized leaderboard, which was pretty much the same that it's been for the last 9 months previously, or year maybe. Then, like I said, 11 to 20, they've increased the spark because you've got total spark crystals now. They've increased, obviously, the total spark crystals generally in the totalizer. So you are getting more spark 11 to 20. But for me, the prizes still need increasing, but we'll talk about that after the newsletter again. And then the standard, I think pretty much the same for 100 to 500. It's pretty much no change there. And then obviously each event crystal contains the a chance of 25% at dropping grapple or dirtbag. Don't forget that's not 25% as a 4-star or anything. It's just 25% at dropping a crystal. So 1 in 4. Then we've got 25% of 4-star shards. You got them shards on top of that as well, and then you got a total spark, which is sparks on top. So personally, I think this is absolutely an amazing event and well worth the sort of money that you put in for the top 10. Like I said, hopefully we can push that further on. Then we've got Grapple and Dirtbag. So the ability is Alloy Mine. Place a mine that has 35% of your health, attracts nearby defenses, and absorbs a percentage of the damage received. After 10 seconds, or if destroyed, it explodes, dealing damage in a large area. So I've had a couple of questions as well. Well, one question saying, does it take alloy in some way? No, it doesn't take any sort of alloy. It doesn't take a resource. It's just an ability like anything else. And then bug fixes and improvements. So yes, there's been some buffs to punch and counterpunch. So the ability EMP duration has been increased. I think it's to 10 seconds EMP, which is pretty good. It's a bit more than most bots. His health has been increased by 23%. So that's quite considerable, especially for a scout, which is pretty good. And then the big one is punch and counterpunch can now hack other bots using their ability. But that's not as plain as it sounds. There's some very clever things in there that I've tested and found out, and I can't wait to use it. And there has been, I think, a bug where punch and counterpunch have not been in crystals for some reason. There's a lot of players saying they've never seen him in crystals. So hopefully that can change. And then when people have got punch and counterpunch, they can really test him out because he's pretty impressive. But more of that later. And then after losing their ability, Scattershot and Leo Zack targeting would be reset. They won't want their latest ability to target anymore, which has been fixed. Community content, and that is all. So first of all, we're just going to go through the leaderboard rewards. I'm going to talk about, what we talked about with Space Ape, and also the sort of increase that we've seen. So we've got a double dealer with the leaderboard, and we've got the current leaderboard. I'm just going to go through them. So it's all started where Dale was in the playtest chat just asking, we have a live ops section where they run the events past us and say, is there any improvements you think? We say what we would like. the apes say yes or no, but they get an idea on first hand before it comes out what they, what we expect people to think of the event. Sometimes it can be, this is great, thanks. Sometimes we think, well, they could be improved a bit. Sometimes we think, at the bottom, they need improving in some way. I think that the total spark crystals have come from that sort of section. We said that spark needs increasing at all levels, and I think it's a good idea that spark is increased. There's a lot of players out there, especially in terms of combiners, where people are struggling, and a lot of people are just investing in one combiner and leaving the rest in the dust. I'm investing in two, but a lot of people investing in one have Omega Supreme in top levels anyway at 20 pretty much already, whereas mine's only at 15, 16 because I'm putting mine between 2 or 3, so it's a lot harder to level. But I've got Superion at level, I think level 11, and I think Bruticus level 10. No, I think Superion might be 12, 13, and Bruticus 10. But people are having to focus more on one combiner. And I think combiner spark needs increasing. This is one way by total spark crystals and in events. So I think we'll see a lot more spark put into events. Yanis has spoke about an increase in war rewards or the war program in some way. It's going to be a while yet, but I can't wait for that. That should be a well received, improvement. So yeah, I get that most people are annoyed that top 10's been improved and nothing else, but trust me on this, that the playtesters did say that they wanted rewards improved. And I've been speaking to Dale, and I hope he doesn't mind me sort of saying this, that, what I put forward and what most of the playtesters put forward is the main things are catch-up mechanics. And I've talked about that a lot in my streams. And I think that research times hopefully will be improved. That's what's been spoken to a lot. How they'll improve them, they might just reduce the time. They might give people another slot. They might just make 3 stars less. I don't know. But I hope that they reduce research times. And Dale has, promised me that, this year will be the best year for the game. We'll see lots of improvements. It's going to be great. And you know what? I believe him. I really do. In the 2 months or something that Dale's been here, there's been so many changes already and so much. He spends all his day just talking to people about the game, and he's hungry for information and hungry to know what's wrong with the game and how it can be improved. And and he said to me that he has no interest in money or the economy. He just wants to know what people think, what they think is wrong with the game, what they think will be improved. He'll take all that information and the things that he sees the most. He'll go to Hyro and say, or Yanis or whatever, and say, "This is what the community is saying. What can we do?" And that's a big voice for all the players. And again, a big thank you to Dale. I think I spoke to Dale more in the last month than I have any other ape in my entire time of 5 years in the game. So it's really impressive that he's very open to talking to people about the game and picking your brains. And people who watch my channel know that I'm not one to say, I want this, for my account because that will help me. Yes, some things will help me and my fellow players that I advise because I'm in my chat and I see, what my other players want in my alliance, my fellow players. And obviously that comes from that. But I also say that Goldfire is overpowered. I do think so. And anyone who watches my channel knows that I love Goldfire and I use him in every single war attack, but I do think he's overpowered. I do. I also think Trax is overpowered, to be fair. But that's down to the apes, what they want to do. There's certain bots I think are just overpowered. There's certain bots that I think are underpowered. The likes of Slug, the likes of Pyromagna, the likes of Powerglide, even Cosmos. These bots that you don't see a lot in wars. I think they all need a bit of improvement. And I'm not saying an overhaul. They're not going to be changed from, Powerglide is not going to change from his ability to all of a sudden be like Strafe. It's not going to change like that. But there might be an increase in damage. There might be an increase in range. There might be an increase in the AoE. You don't know, but there'll be an increase in some kind to make them relevant. And that's a big part for me, is to improve bots to be all relevant. And I can see the Crushers put Ironhide. Yes, exactly. Jumpstream as well. Because the list can go on and on. There's a massive list of bots that need improvement. And I would rather see improvements to bots before we start nerfing bots. And I'm not a big fan of nerfs, and I can see Vincent's there. So many people investing in bots, and I understand it. And I'm not saying that these bots should be nerfed in some way. But when you use Goldfire, I don't want to get into too much because talking about certain things, but when you use Goldfire, it can't be stopped by mines. It can't be stopped by abilities. There's very limited base design that can stop him to pop all the outposts. You pop all the outposts, and then you drop your combiner, and all the abilities are wasted. So basically, Goldfire eliminates mines. He eliminates outpost abilities, combiner abilities, and does loads of damage and can't get stunned. It's just too ridiculous. And an idea that I put forward, I think a year ago or two, something like that. And it works well. I said, people are popping outposts, and I get it, that it's overpowered at the minute. So we need some way to stop people from popping all the outposts. And it's a bit harder base design. So you can make the base height bigger. That would make that possible. It really would. But the ape said it's not possible. So I suggested some sort of structure that you have to destroy, and that will somehow not stop from popping outposts because that will be manipulated, but it can stop them from wasting their abilities. So the outposts will pop, and then the bots. I don't know. Like I said, it can be manipulated any way you look at it. But I suggested some way to stop bots from popping outposts, and I hope that that's considered in some way. I just don't want one bot to be the go-to bot for every single base, and you can't defend against it. I didn't like backdoor attacks for that exact reason, because you couldn't defend against it, and I didn't do backdoor attacks. But I also don't like the fact you can use Goldie for any kind of base, no matter the design, and it can be used to so much effect that it's impossible to defend against. Nothing should be impossible to defend against in the game. Nothing, and that's my view. So, looking at the last leaderboard. So, if you look at this last leaderboard, this was a double dealer leaderboard. So, if you look at the prizes compared, it's incredibly reduced. So, the spark is still the same. The premium rewards are still the same. Character crystals are not in there. But you got to think, this is 100,000 spark. So, with the total spark crystals, you're looking between 150,000 to 225,000 of each spark. So that's double a spark, at least, and then also the same amount in combined spark and in combat spark, which is incredible amount. And that's filtered down throughout the top 10. Then you've got obviously the 4-star that's been increased as well. Then you've got the character shards, and then you've obviously got the event crystal, which is improved as well. But something I spoke about in the VIP test again, and I said, if you're look, that's the last leaderboard anyway. So look at that. This is the current one. So for me, everything, when the apes look at these rewards, they don't look at what is first place going to get, what is second place going to get. They're going to look at, right, for this whole event, how many prem shards are we going to give away for the entire community? It might be 1 million prem shards, and that might be normal for an event. And they think, you know what, 1 million prem shards for the whole event, for everyone, that's the amount that we want to give. So it's set at that, or thereabouts. They might think that, as for increasing spark, we've got it. Fair enough. But my big point is, if you're in the top 10 and you're getting the 4-star bot, why do you need event crystals? Yes, you get some resources. You get some cores, things like that. That's brilliant. But why do you need event crystals? You've already got the 4-star. You don't really need it, apart from dupes. So they could easily take those event crystals out and replace them with something else. We've already seen a massive increase in total spark crystals. So you could easily take those event crystals out and increase the 5-star shards. If the ape said to me, listen, we're going to take the event crystals out, so you don't get as many cores, sadly, but you are going to get more 5-star shards, I'd be like, you know what? Fine. No problem with that. Character shards. Obviously, character shards are there for collecting bots, and they're there as a, to help you sort of when you get the bot, it costs you less money to get it. So at the top there, you've got 3,000 character shards plus 1,500 from the event, 4,500. You only need 3,000, and you've got the bot, which is, okay, that's maybe, $100, $150 to get the bot, which I get is not, a small amount of money. But why do the top 5 need it? If you've already got the 4-star, you're not going to chase the 4-star. So why not put them character shards from 11th place downwards? So if you finish 11th place and you get say 2,000 character shards. We get 2,000. Let's make it 3,000 then. You get the 3,000 character shards. And then you add 1,500 on. You got 4,500 character shards. You might think when that bundle comes around, you might think, well, you know what? I've got a chance of getting Grapple here with a Grapple bundle. I might actually chase him because I'm close. $100 bundle should get me him. And then you're guaranteed the Grapple from a $100 bundle. So by putting in character shards down lower, you're going to increase people's desire to spend. And I've said this before that, I'm not going to sit here and say, don't spend, guys, because it needs money for the game to progress. We all know that it needs money, end of. But what I want, I've said this again, time and time again, value for money. I don't want someone spending $100 and getting nothing. We want the most we can. If we are going to spend $20 or $50 or $100, the most value possible. That's why I say to everyone, listen, if you're planning on leveling a leaderboard, then save money, use it all on one leaderboard, Cup, Lagoon, you'll get the most value for money. And then the rest of the events, go free to play, guys. Just take it easy. Or choose one event. Just choose one event and go hard. If you're going to spend money at all, spend it on one event, get an XP code, get a Golden Lagoon, do it all in one day, smash it out, and you're getting so much XP for the same money you would spending on every single event. So rather than spend $10 in every event, wait for one event, $50 on one event, done, smash it out, guys. Getting the most value you can. That bot will be a lot higher than spending $10 on every single event. Just spending $50 on one instead, and then nothing on the rest. So it's about getting value. So by putting them character shards down lower, it will really help lower players chasing bots, getting bots in the long run. That's the first thing I'd do. The second thing is, I'll be honest with you, Prem shards, I don't like them. They're not a good chance of dropping bots. There's no point in them. So I would literally take all them Prem shards out of the top 10 and give them to 11 to 100 again. Get them Prem shards out and push them down. The chance crystals, again, you don't need chance crystals if you got the 4-star. Push them down as well. Give 11 to 40, 40 chance crystals. Push them chance crystals down. Take the event crystals and the character shards and the Prem shards out of that top 10. Give them more 5-star shards. I'd be happy with that. I'm fine with that. That's what the top teams desire is 5 stars. I know everyone does, but that's what the top guys, they won't bother with most 4 stars. They want 5 stars. So pushing those premiums down, pushing those event crystals down, pushing the character shards down. So it's still the same amount, but it's shared lower. I think would be a massive improvement for lower players. I think it encourages people to spend. I think it's making the bots within reach. And I think that, if you're lucky with event crystals or with prems, you might get a new bot. And you know what? You might think, I'm going to level this bot because I've got Golden Lagoon. I'm going to spend in a few weeks. And I think it's just good for everyone. And that's personally my recommendations on where the game would go. This might take a year. It might be step by step. Who knows? The top 10 might be not happy with that. I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that. But not everyone is, without blowing my own horn, unselfish in that way. I want what's good for everyone, not what's good for me. Yes, I've got a bit of desire that, the rewards need to be, the rewards need to be good for me as well, but they should also be good for everyone, whether you placed 1st or 10th, 40th or 100th. And Vincent's got a good question there that, do you think giving the top players 4-star leaderboards is kind of pointless? I do think 4 stars are overpriced and, by the apes, I do overvalued, but it's still a step in the right direction. And, when we look at Grapple, I'll explain my thoughts on him and I'll explain the pitfalls and things like that. But this is why, again, we're going to talk about the play test and, what I want from play test and, and where I want it to go and the reasons for to back up what you're saying there as well, Vincent, as well. And Berserk's put that he'd like the 5-star rewards pushed down to 100. Sadly, they're not going to push 5-star rewards down. 5-star shards are the premium resource in the game. You're talking, I think the most premium is coins. They don't give coins out very often. Then you're looking at cells, are probably next, because cells do regen, but they do give out cells sometimes compensation, but you need coins really for cells. So coins are the most premium probably, followed by cells, and then probably you're talking 5-star shards or 5-star combat shards are the next premium resource. So they're not going to give the top 100 for them. Sorry, but they're just not. If you're expecting the top 100 to get the 4-star, I just doubt they will, honestly. And I get what people are saying, but, 35k for a guaranteed new bot. It's not going to happen, sadly. For our 4-star, I suggested putting 4-star shards in there for, lower down for, the 11 to 100 guys, put 4-star shards in. So if you finish 11 to 20, you get a 4-star bot, but it could be a dupe. So you are going to get 5-star shards. If you finish 100, you might get 1,000 4-star shards, which will help towards getting 5-star shards. But I very much doubt they're going to give 5-star shards right down at 100. You've got to think at the effort you put in, and you've got to think at the rewards as well. And I know that everyone wants 5-star shards. You see people saying, can we have more 5-star events? Can we have a free 5-star? You see sometimes, and sadly, it's just not going to happen. But we do want to push it to be, a lot better than what it is already. But like I said, if you look at those rewards and you look at the previous rewards, there's a huge difference. I mean, just look at how many rewards there is. There's just 5 rewards in that leaderboard. This was only 6 months ago. The bot 5-star shards, which were very little. You can see there. For finishing 6th, you don't even get 1 dupe. Event crystals, spark, and premium shards. And then compared to that, it's a massive leap in 6 months' time. And I think that in another 6 months' time, we'll see it. We won't see more columns, but we'll see those filtered downwards. And that's what I think. And CJ's put 200 premium crystals to first. They don't want prems. I don't want prems. It doesn't bother me. I really don't want prems. Honestly, they won't bother me one bit. But yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's have a look. We'll look at punch first. We'll build up some tension. And then we'll look at grapple and dirtbag. So yeah, so Vincent asked earlier about if the 4-star should be pushed down. So what my thing is that I've always said that the new 4-star should be better than the old ones. Should be better than the old bots. Because if I'm on a top 10 leaderboard and I get grapple, and Rook or RC is better, and Rook or RC are in my war team, grapple needs to be not just a bit better, but a lot better for me to want to level him. And the reason for that is that it's not just saying, okay, it's a tiny bit better than Rook, but you've got to think the money invested and the time invested to get that bot from 0 to 61, which my Rook is at, is it worth putting that investment in this bot to make him better than Rook? Is it that much of a change? For argument's sake, say that he gave just 1 second more protection than Rook, even 2 seconds. For me, that's not enough to level 61. It needs a serious improvement. And that's where I would rather push the new bots to be even better. And also, you got to look at it this way, that, if someone says, right, you know what, the one bot I want is Rook. For a bundle to come round, and then it's 10 crystals for $20. So you're getting poor value there straight away. You get some prems, but they're really poor anyway. So you're getting poor value. I've always said buy mixed bundles. But then Grapple comes around in a mixed bundle. And yes, Grapple is the 2 bot. Then you get, 4 of another one and 4 of another one. You get very limited grapple crystals. But I'm just going to throw this out there, is no. I've said this in the chat that I'd like this. So let's say that 8 face for the cons is the next bot out and there's an Autobot counterpart. It's a bad example to use a con. Let's say Blur. I'm just picking a bot out of here. Yeah. So let's say Blur is the next bot. Well, Blur will be 2 crystals next, but then Grapple will be the bigger one. Then say Blur is brilliant. You've got Grapple is brilliant, and you've got Blur is brilliant. And then Hoist will be in there as well because he's the last bot. So then you've got Hoist in there, you've got Grapple in there, you've got Blur in there, say for argument's sake. And you think, you know what? There's 3 good bots in there that will really improve my team miles and better than what it is now. And newer players that are willing to spend will get a lot better bots. And if those bots are better than, say, my bots, once you've leveled them bots, why can't you have a team as good as mine? I've invested 5 years into the game, but you know what? I'm fine with that. Because I'll chase them bots too. And I will probably be at the same level as you in terms of wars. Yes, I will have more bots for Zen farming and everything else. And yeah, I will have an advantage and Spark invested and everything else. Yes, I will always have an advantage because I played the game so long. But by making the newer bots even better than the older bots, then there will always be a progression where people can catch up to top players faster. And that's my opinion. Whether the apes agree with this or not, that's just my aim. But then I'd also like older bots to have no rubbish bots. And I've talked to Fabian about this, and Fabian said that, not every bot can be great. And Yanis said that to me in the past. And I agree, not every bot can be great. But for argument's sakes, you've got Prowl and Skyburst that are considered some of the best bots in the game. even at 4-star level. They're considered amazing bots. Warpath as well. We could go on all day. There's plenty of gunners that are considered amazing in the game. Then you've got the likes of Hound and Sea Spray that are, they're okay. They're not considered amazing. They're not considered top war material, but they're useful in Zen. They're pretty good bots. And as 5 stars, I don't think they'll need much changing. They just need the stats upping, like any 5-star gets. And they'll be, very, impressive 5 stars without much changed. But then you've got the like of Cliff Jumper and Dust Up, which are really awful. Now, I'm not saying let's make Cliff Jumper and Dust Up the best bots in the game overnight. I'm not saying that. I'm saying let's make Cliff Jumper and Dust Up relevant to the likes of Hound and Sea Spray. So you might think, you know what, they're not the best. They won't fit my war, but I can use them in Zen farming, mix them with this bot, mix them with this team, and they'll work really well. I just don't think that really Cliff Jumper and Dust Up really work that much in most teams. And I know people are going to throw examples saying, I use Dust Up in my leveling team and it's brilliant. But when you look at the top wars where the guys look at the top bots and think, right, these are the 8 bots that I want, those are nowhere near it. Even Hound and Sea Spray aren't in most cases. But I'm okay with most bots being around that level. And I think that should be a minimum. They should be around there. Every bot should be decent. What I don't want is anyone to pull any bot and it be awful. I've threw my phone across the room a couple of times, and I'll be deadly honest with you. In my first ever Crystal video, I think I pulled Skyburst, which I weren't too bothered about. So my second one, sorry, I thought it was the first, but I pulled Cheetor. Now, if you watch that video, I think my reaction was, yay! But inside, I was super annoyed. And after the stream, I was pretty livid. Because he was really poor. And then literally about 2 months later, they buffed him to be amazing. And I've not looked back since. And I remember that time where I pulled that bot and how awful he was. And I remember Silverball. I remember people looking at batch 1 and going, if I get Silverball, I'm going to quit. And people pulling Silverball and saying, that's it, I've had enough, leaving the chat. And you don't see him for 2 weeks where they've had enough and they're super annoyed. I was going to swear, but super annoyed because he pulled Silverball and he improved Silverball. And, Silverball, one of the best bots in the game. So was Cheetor. I'm not expecting that. They do that, but I'm not expecting that. But I don't want anyone to pull any bot and be like that. Yes, there is some bots. You might say, I want Star Saber and then pull Punch. But what you want is you think, well, what is Star Saber? That would have been good for my team. But Punch is still pretty good. I still want this bot. I can still use this bot because it's still good. And that's my aim, to be honest with you. So that's where I'm at with the apes. That's what I'm looking at. And that's my roadmap for the next 9 months to, increase event rewards, especially in terms of Spark, which I think they've done already with the total Spark crystals, which I'm super pleased about. To improve leaderboards so they're not this top 10 or top 5 focused event. It's a top maybe 100 focused event. It won't be a top 500 ever, sadly, I don't think. It's going to be focused in some way, but a focused event which pushes people to play more. And after speaking to Dale, he said he's not bothered about money, he's bothered about participation. So if you're free to play and you do 15K, and all of a sudden you think, you know what, I want this bot or whatever, I want the rewards, I'm going to do 30K, I'm going to really push it this weekend. And all of a sudden that 100 spot becomes, instead of 3 teams battling for 100, it becomes 10 teams battling for 100. And that top 10, instead of, it becoming a top 10 and 11th maybe, it becomes, a 10-team race for the top 10. And the top 5 becomes a top 7. And that's what he wants. He wants some competition in there, some friendly competition, and, to really get the community together and pulling together and, and people will merge together for a leaderboard and, just make it a bit of fun, That's the idea. So, anyway, less waffling. Let's go on to Punch. So, the improvements, like I said, to Punch, we've obviously saw is an increase in health. So, he's gone up to 10k health at level 54. Still a low level bot. I didn't want to level him too high. I didn't want to make it incredibly out of reach. Sometimes I like to level the bot up high so you can see what to achieve for the top guys, but I've kept him quite low level because I think even at this level, in terms of stun and hack, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he has low health and low DPS, but the stun and the hack is the, the big important thing. And then, like I said, so you go undercover for 10 seconds, disabling defenses and hacking bots for 9 seconds. So he still stays invisible for the same amount of time, but the EMP has been improved, I think, from 6 seconds to 9 at ability 9, which does improve a bit more as you go up to level. And then it also deals 267 damage per second. So over 10 seconds, you're looking at 2,500 damage. So the damage is okay, but like with Chromia, that's not the target. Yes, it does damage, but it's more about the stun and it's more about the hack. Yes, we've got Top Shot on. I've put Rejuvenate on, and I'll be honest with you, we're going to take him in with a healer because he gets killed pretty quickly. But there's something that I'm not too sure the apes considered. Maybe they did, but I did a bit of testing, and I thought I'll have a look at this guy, and I'll test him out and see what. I always like to think, don't just hack a defense. Think, well, will he do that? Well, actually, will he do this as well? And so first off, I was thinking, he hacks defense, he hacks bots. So it's very important you understand that he doesn't hack defenses. He stuns defenses, but hacks bots. So it does, different things to bots and to defenses. So I thought, what if he hacks a spider mine? Oh yeah, he doesn't hack spider mines. He EMP mines. So he EMPs them. I wonder if he can hack sharks. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll go for his ability. We'll move some mines around. And yes, I can confirm that hacks sharks. So for those that are at HQ 17 and have the spider mines, yes, he can hack the sharks. So I'm just going to give him a bit of health boost there. I've changed the defenses for Grapple actually, but you can see here, look at the range. So he starts throwing them. You can see that he has great range. It does no damage to Billbots currently. I think that is a bug that I think that he will change. So the grenade is pretty much the same. It's not changed much, but the range has definitely improved. Again, checking his range out. So even though the circle only goes to the beam laser, he will throw grenades further if the defenses are further away, which I think is brilliant. And, that is not much different than his original ability. That's pretty much, similar to how it was. You can see there that he can two-shot a beam laser at level 55. So, pretty impressive. So we'll put an outpost down there. And we'll put some Sharkticons there as well. And we'll see what happens down. So, like I said, it was set up, but I have to do a bit of changing around for Grapple. So we'll put Elita in there. We'll put Elita down here, actually. We don't want too much damage to him. And we'll put these back there, actually. Just a bit further back. And then, what some spider mines, didn't we? Or shark mines, whatever you want to call them. We'll put them there. A bit closer, actually. We wanted to set them off, but not when he's getting bombarded, do we? Because he does have low health. I'm not going to lie to you, but you've got to remember as well that, this is, this is on his own. This is not in a team, anything like that. This is just on his own. So you can't expect too much on his own, but put him in a team, and yeah, he's pretty ridiculous. I'm not going to lie. But we'll do a bit more on that later on. So this is just normal mode. I don't go in hard mode for these battles because I just like to go normal mode first and see how it goes. So yeah, it can two-shot a beam laser at level 55, 9, but obviously in hard mode, he probably won't. Put collect your let's test account. Don't forget, guys, yeah, not available on the main server quite yet. And no, I'm not a hacker. Little disclaimer. To do I need to get this, I need to record it, I need to put on my phone, and every time I want to mention test server, play it and save my breath. I'm gonna do that, I really am. Okay, so we're gonna put him down. We're gonna put a healer down, like I said. We want to keep him alive. I might actually put 2 healers down just to keep him alive. So it's okay. Let him get done there. Let him get hit by Elita. So then we're going to hack Elita. There you go. You can see there he's hacked Elita. And he's hacking the Billbots. That's the problem. And there you go. He's fired outside his range as well, and he's actually EMP defenses. So if he hacks a bot and there's further, defenses that he can target, he will EMP them. So it's not like if you target a bot, it will only hack and nothing else. If you target a defense, it won't hit the bot. It will hit whatever's in range. So my burgers, but have a scrolling banner like Skywarp. Just says test account. Yeah, I need to. Okay, let's let him get a bit closer. So someone's saying the sound's quite choppy. Is that what you're saying, Brad? I can have a look at the sound maybe. Okay, here's the Spider-Mans. Are you watching? And they die before I cut. Oh, I put Rug down. That's a problem. And there's the Spider-Mans, not even hacked. Because they're hitting Rug. We'll have another go. He's choppy. That's strange. Is the video choppy though? So the sound's slightly choppy, but the video's not. Interesting. Sounds good for Mike. So it is okay in some respects. Okay, that's weird. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're getting a lot of people saying it's good. So it's just you. Smiling, missing Brad. It's just your connection. It's not mine. Right, let's move these Spider-Mans a bit closer, eh? We really want to see these mines in action. And let's bring some more down as well. Let's go overboard. Really emphasize it because I was really impressed. And sadly, because of Rook, it didn't show. And Tim asking, did Punch get buffed? Yes, that's what we're talking about now. He did. He now stuns defenses and hacks bots, but also hacks Sharticons. Okay, cool. So again, we're going to put Punch down. We'll put a couple of healers down. So as he gets in range, we'll hit the Sharks. And there's the Sharks. The Sharks are now hacked and doing defenses against their own defenses. So yeah. But then also you can target the Spider-Mines and stun the Spider-Mines. So you can stun the Spider-Mines. You can hack the Sharks. So I think this is a massive, counter to Spider-Man. A lot of people are complaining about Spider-Man, saying they're an absolute nightmare. But, Punch is a good way to combat them. I really do. Simply as put, I think I would make a great outpost bot. Well, we'll have to have a look, actually. I'll have a quick look. I'm not trying an outpost. I presume because it's bots, he will hack them. He will hack them for 9 seconds. So that's still pretty good. I don't think he'll EMP them. I wonder if he EMPs there. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that'll work. But let's put Spider-Man still need a reduction in health. I don't mind them. I'll be honest with you. I like them at high levels. And they are on a HQ 17. So they should be, they should be at high levels. Berserk's put, it'd be good if Hound could take them out. Well, Hound can take them out. The Spider-Mines have 3,200 health. And Hound does 2,476. So yeah, it would need to be maxed. It wouldn't need to be at 11. So I understand what you're saying. But I think that a 5-star Hound will take them out at ability 10. Maybe even lower level as well. And I'm thinking that 14.8 with special ability damage. You could put a volatile mixture on there. Even a G Metal Hound will improve it. But yeah, I doubt that Hound can take them out at a lower level. You'd really need to max him out to take them out. but it is an option. But yeah, any AoE takes them out. Yeah, well, like I said, the building health is 3,200. I think that's what it meant, was actually take the mines out, because if it means the actual sharks themselves, they pretty much just explode. So you don't have to fight them, because as soon as they go near your bots, they explode anyway. So you don't really need to take them out as much. So I presume it means the spider mines, but yeah, I do get it. So yeah, amazing leaderboard rewards, improvements, amazing punch, counter punch, super impressed. And at the beginning of the stream, I said, what bot would you like? So I've seen a lot of suggestions, and I think mine were Dust Up. I think Dinobot. For me, Dinobot has a problem with his hollows. I think his hollows need changing to really bring them in line. And no, he's not one of the worst bots in the game. And I'll be honest with you, that was probably just a pure selfish reason that I really liked Dinobot when it came out, and I fought for him to be a certain way, and the ape said no, basically. And I think that was a bad decision. And it's gone back to it now. And I'm like, I would rather it be exactly how I suggested. So I did say Dinobot needs changing. I did say Dust Up, and of course Powerglide. It'd be hypocritical of me to complain about Powerglide as much as I did on Ability 11 without putting him in there. So they're not the bots that are definitely getting picked. All the playtesters have chose their own bots on what they would like to be improved next. But I think that, going forward, I had a bit of a rant. I apologize to the apes, but it came from a good place. That the last time we improved about was a year ago. We haven't looked at any old bots for a year now, and it's time that we start looking at them again. Even if it's just every month or two, we'll just improve one bot. It will make a lot more people happy. I can see in the chat already people are going, "Oh, punch would be a good outpost bot. I'd like a 4-star punch. I've got punch 3-star. It'd be pretty good actually." That's what you want. You want a bit of a buzz about these buffs. So that's my sort of thing, and what I'm hoping for, that every month or two we have an old bot and that gets improved. And I talk about that in my channel, especially in VIP. So if you're not in my Discord yet, come and join it. And I do regular posts in my VIP section. To get in VIP, you do have to have donated $20 to the streams. That's just me giving back something, but that information still gets put in my streams, and I still talk about it, but it goes strictly in the VIP section first. So the VIP, basically, all you're getting is the information before everyone else. That's it. The information doesn't change in there. You don't get anything extra information, really. You just get it before everyone else. But yeah, so the last bot we did was a year ago, and we're going to do a bit of a competition before we show Grapple. Quick competition time. We haven't done these for a couple of weeks, apart from the crystal opening. So I'm going to ask a question, and the first 3 correct answers in the chat will win a Sunstreaker Wozza stash crystal. And if you are a winner, contact me on Discord. Just say, "Hey Wozza, I guessed the correct answer, which was Thinger, whatever it is, on your stream. Give me my code, and I will gladly." So I said that the last bot that the playtesters really buffed and really focused on was a year ago. Which bot was improved? There's the question. So a year ago, the playtesters worked on a particular bot to improve it. Which bot was it? And I'll be honest with you, it's been improved, but it's still not good. It still needs improving. It still needs improving. So, like I said, I'm not going to say what the answer is, but once we get 3 answers in the chat, I will say, well done. And I can see some people put in the 5-star batches. I'm not including 5-star batches. This is a year ago. So, yeah, I'm not including the 5-star batches, guys. Apologies for that. So, yeah, I'm not including, Blaze and Rhinox, Laser Optimus. Just purely one bot that we focused on, and we made that great. And we've already got 3 people winners. Well done. So we have 3 winners, and the answer was Streetwise and Cinetwin. Those are the last bots we looked at last January. And for me, that's too long. And the winners are Sharksy, Silverbolt, and the Crusher 11. So congratulations to you 3. If you contact me on Discord, you will win a Sunstreaker Wozza stash crystal. And yes, just to emphasize, that was a year ago. Yes, we looked at 5-star batches and improved those, but let's be honest, I say that is elitist, and that's what I use that word a lot. It's elitist. It's making only those bots that become 5 stars great. We need to look at the older bots that are quite poor and make them better. And Mike Burgers put, we upgraded those. I don't even remember exactly. That's how poor it was. And at the time, I said this is not enough. But basically, I think they extended his range and they made him slower because they said that he runs off ahead too much. So they made him slower, extended his range, but no one likes speed up and slow down. That's unless it's like, you know, Wheeljack included with a heal boost. Because even Wheeljack's ability, no one really liked. So I still think that he needs looking at even again. So Cellports, but yeah, they got more HP and changed the pathing. So yeah, that's what it was. It was more HP and they reduced his speed, which obviously improved his pathing and made him a bit slower. So yeah. And thank you to Grind Time for donating. So Grind Time's already a VIP, but a big thank you to Grind Time. Big thank you to anyone that's donated. And like I said, once you donate $20, guys, that gets you into the VIP section. But thank you to Grind Time. Yeah. Okay. The bit everyone's been waiting for. Let's get on to Grapple. So we've got Grapple and Dirtbug, but obviously Dirtbug, who? No, Dirtbag, sorry. They're both obviously the same. So it's going to show Grapple, and I get a lot of cons saying, why don't you show cons more? Well, our bots don't like cons, let's be honest. So yeah, we've got Grapple, and at 63.9, so he places a mime that has 35% of your health. So at level 63, that equals about 6,500 health, 6,000 health. It attracts nearby defenses and absorbs 90% of damage received. So this increases at each level. So at lower levels, it will only absorb, say, 50 to 60% at, say, level 1 or 2 or 3. And will go up in 5% increments. So the higher you spark it, the longer the mime will last. 95% is pretty invincible. You've got to put it in a seriously high damage area for it to have. You've got to think that at level 8, let's just round it down. So at level 9, it's 90% reduction. So at 6,000 health, it would need 6,000 DPS, more than 6,000 DPS against it for it to explode less than 10 seconds. That's a lot of DPS, 6,000. A lot in one bit. So yeah. I imagine you put it in a massively overpowered area, then maybe it might destroy for 10 seconds, but it's still huge. After 10 seconds, if destroyed, excuse me, it explodes, dealing 3,828 damage in an area. So we'll also look at the bot as well. We'll look at Dirtbag. I think we got him anyway. I'll have to have a check. So yeah, pretty bright, you know, and that's a lot from Sunstreaker. You know, very yellow. Pretty cool. Pretty impressed with the visuals. Think he looks really cool. And then can we see Dirtbag? If we can find him. Dirtbag. Where is Dirtbag? We haven't got Dirtbag. Don't know why I'm singing that. I do this occasionally, just jump into song. We ain't got Dirtbag. I apologize to all the cons. I need to stop this. Putting the cons, you know, it's a massive clickbait putting the cons on my on my thumbnails and then not showing the cons, but apologies. Yes, RIP Dirtbag. And for all those, you know, we all know you don't have the con. Hey, I'm going to tell you a quick funny story, actually, while we're just looking at this. We're going to go into battle here. But quick funny story. When I started the game, I wanted to be a con. And I chatted with a few of my friends when we started the game. And I said, hey, who's joining cons? And everyone was like, not me. I'm being a bot. I was like, what? Everyone's being a bot. Like, yeah, we're all sticking together. We're all being bot. I was like, well, okay, then I'll be a bot then. Okay. I wanted to be a con. You know, if I had some of my friends that were cons already, I'd have been a con right now in the game. So, you know, I'm a con at heart. I do like cons a lot more than bots. And yes, people say, well, hang on a minute. Why did you speak out? That's a long story as well that I went into. But yeah, I wanted to be a con. What is change? It is good to be a con. I'm not going to lie. But it is disappointing for cons. And again, this is another thing I want to focus on dead quick. I don't want to waffle on too much. But like I said, loads of things that I've been talking about with Dale the last few weeks. That we need more bots that are aimed at cons, because we're getting bots, Autobot bots, and then getting cons that match. It's not really fair. Where's 8-Face? Where's Snapdragon? Let's bring them out and then say, let's try and find a bot that matches. Let's concentrate a bit on cons as well. Let's have a few cult classic cons that are brought out and then make some bots that match. I mean, come on, we need some more classic cons in there. Like I said, the likes of Slug Slinger and the likes of 8-Face and Snapdragon. I love Headmasters. I've already said I want them in the game, but yeah. Okay, Grapple. So back on point. So Grapple, I've seen a lot of questions saying, does it pop outposts? No, it doesn't. It's a mine, so it doesn't pop outposts, sadly. It works different than Rook and RC, and we'll look at that and look at the similarities and look at the differences. And like I said, we'll work out who's best and what we all think. Okay, so we got Grapple, and like I said, he's got slightly more DPS than the likes of most warriors because he's special. So he's still got good health and good DPS, but he's not that sort of warrior level. He's got good DPS and pretty good health. But so you drop a mine, and you can see here. So we drop a mine there. And if you watch all the defenses, so we'll slow it down. That will now attract all the defenses. You can see the timer there, which is super cool. See, it's getting loads of damage, so it's exploded on 2 seconds. But you've got to think there, it's getting hit by 3 beam lasers and 2 mortars and a cannon. So that's a lot. It's very unlikely you're going to get hit by 3 beam lasers and a cannon and 2 mortars. And I can see the Crusher's put, the timer's awesome. Yeah, I agree. We need that sort of visuality in it. There's too many abilities where we've seen it and said, you can't tell how long's left. It's very hard within a battle to see it. So very cool. But again, doesn't pop the outpost. Let's pop it over there. You see there that it's lasting a bit longer now. Only 2 lines are hit. Only 2 beam lasers are hitting it. Lasted the full 10 seconds this time. Then does the damage. Again, though, you can see there it doesn't pop the outpost. But with 3 beam lasers hitting it, it's not quite lasting that 10 seconds. Maybe just as. So yeah, if you put it in a really high damage area, it's going to struggle a bit. Yeah. The cost is, I think it's 6 plus 3. Yeah, 6 plus 3 is the cost. So when you compare to Rook, so we'll have a quick comparison, and we'll try, we'll try on Rook as well. Dan has put a time on hack defense would be nice. I agree. Actually, that's a good idea. I'm actually going to put that forward to the apes. I'm going to suggest that actually as an improvement on all hacks to have a timer. I like that. And I will give you credit, Dana, for that. I like that. So, looking at Rook, because it's very easy to compare the two. We've got RC there maxed out as well. We'll have a look at that as well. So, we've got, RC is a 5. Have we got RC in 4-star? I didn't think to look for that. But have we got RC? I think we have. Maxed out, yeah. So, we have a look at that as well. So, we've got Grapple. So, as he is, we've got, obviously, like I said, call it 20,000 health and 386 DPS. So Rook is 25,800 health and 290 DPS. So as we would expect from Warrior, less DPS but more health. Now for me, tanks need more health. They do need that. But the fact they've both got something to distract, they've both got either a hollow or they've got the mine, then they're both quite considerable distraction techniques. So both very good. Rook's hollow does 3,300 damage. Grapples does 3,800. So it's about 500 extra damage. So it's about a 5th or a 6th more damage per level. So obviously, the higher you level it, the more you'll notice it. But again, Grapple is 6 plus 3 and Rook is 5 plus 3. So 1 ability point less. So, it's a bit more effective than Rook. We'll show again, it's got a bit more range. It's got it takes a bit more damage than Rook does, and also withstands all damage, which we'll show in the test as well. So it's a slight upgrade from Rook. It is. It's an upgrade. And when testing it, I said, you know what, this is an upgrade from Rook, but I'm not sure it's enough to warrant me to chase it. But then someone said, well, what about ability 11? Will it make it 100%? that would be impressive. What about HQ 18? If Grapple got ability 11 and it made it 100% that it could not be destroyed, would people spam it too much? That it just stop everything from thinking. But then is that warranted for ability 11? At HQ 18, will it be destroyed faster? But if it's got 100% protection, it won't. So there's a load of questions around this, but I think that as the game goes on, Grapple will outshine Rook long term. For HQ 17.5, if you don't have Rook, Grapple is a definite good substitute. You've got Rook at high level. Yeah, it's an upgrade, but whether it's worth it or not is really up to you. Depends how much you've invested, but it's still a very good bot. And Vitor's put a good point there. It doesn't do what Rook does, though. It doesn't pop outposts. Again, that's one downside to Grapple. You're not going to have one bot that does everything. People talk about RC. RC is hollow. So let's look at RC a minute. So looking at RC as well. So 2,000 health and 410 DPS. So she has, a bit more health than Grapple, maybe. A bit more DPS. But a lot less health on the decoy. It will last a lot less. So, but then it has stun ability 11. All three are slightly different. All three work slightly different in some way, but it's good to have those three different varieties. So we can do a little test here anyway. So we can take Optimus out and we'll put RC in. Don't forget, RC is a slightly higher level. I should have really got a lower down for this test, but hey, never mind. So we saw that, Grapple, that sort of danger area, lasted around, 9-10 seconds, just about, with a cannon, 2 mortars, and 3 beams hitting him, which is considerable. That's a lot of damage to protect against 10 seconds. So we'll look at Rook. So we'll put all 3 down a minute. We'll put a healer down as well, just keep him alive. So looking at Grapple, you can see there the range is quite considerable. Looking at RCs and Rooks, they're about the same, but just because of where they are placed. You can see that it's a lot less than Grapple. It's about 5 or 6 squares. So it's still a lot less. But again, as we saw, Grapples doesn't pop outposts. Let's let that die just to show. And there we go. It's down. And put Rook down. This does pop outposts. But the problem with Rook's hollow is it attracts, but some beam lasers won't get attracted to it. And I'll show you this there. So we put Rook's hollow there. You can see, look, they are avoiding the hollow sometimes and hitting other bots. It seems the hollow has a taunt, which will attract every few seconds. So if you put Rook's hollow down, it doesn't protect for that amount that Grapple does. It protects for more. So it's definitely an upgrade in terms of protecting, in terms of that sense. It distracts about the same amount of time, but damage will still get through Rook. So in that sense, Grapple is an upgrade. Yes, it will be, like I said, a better range. Yes, it distracts more defenses, but it doesn't pop outposts. And for me, that's a bit of a negative, but you can't have a bot that does all. But then you got to think, well, will Rook pop outposts? But it distracts defenses, but not all of them, because it's got a taunt. Grapple doesn't pop outposts, but does attract all defenses. What happens if you combine the two? And I'll be honest with you, that's where it becomes really impressive when you combine the two, because at 63.9, he does 3,800 damage. If you upgrade to 10, it does 4K damage. Let's call it 4K. And this is the calculation you need to do when you consider this. 4K. Rook does 3.5K. That's 7.5K damage once you put Rook and Grapple's hollow and mine down. If you put that hollow and you put that mine, yes, it's 10 ability points in any area, even on Prime League, in hard mode, it will clear pretty much anything. Anything. 7,500 damage for the two. If we go into a battle, and this is just a normal mode battle, but we can go into hard, no problem. Looking at the health, so an MDS has 6,400 health. 6,300, is it? And I think 10% of that is 630. So you're looking at around, I think hard mode, my calculation, it worked out about 7,400 when looking at my Jetfire. So look at the MDS a minute. So the MDS has 6,700 health. That's why, yeah. So it has 7,370 health in hard mode. So Grapple and Rook will take that out. Obviously, looking at a cannon, has 6,100 health. 10% of that is 6,700 health. Well, easy to take that out. Looking at a shock tower, 7,000 health, so 7,700 health. So if you've got a max grapple and max rook, it will take out even shock towers on hard mode. Yes, you could probably add armor to those to protect them, but no one really does. Everyone adds EMP shock pretty much. But yeah, so we're going to see that in action. It is quite costly, but it is really effective. So let's just try and get in range a bit. We need to get Rook to be in range. So we'll add an extra healer. Just to make sure. Just get rid of them mines if we can. No, we can't. I think we need to put a gunner in here because they're taking so long to get through these. It's ridiculous. Okay, should be in range now, I think. So let's put the mine down first and Rook's Hollow. See there? And it's going to distract everything there. You can see. Yes, the mines are so close, so the Jackscon mines, they're not. But watch this damage. So here's the mine. Then it's going to get hit by the Hollow as well. And it's not even destroyed it. I don't know why. That's baffling. That's absolutely crazy. And Rook counterpart is blocked. We're going to change this around a bit because that was crazy because I actually did it in test and it worked fine. So get rid of some of these mines. Let's move these out so we can see it clearly. Get them out of the way. We don't like spider mines at all. Don't you love it when you do something and you think, oh yeah, it's going to go really well, and then it doesn't. Let's put them there like that. We'll put this. We'll put that there like that. We'll try and get some of these defenses out of the way. We'll put them there like that. Slightly unrealistic base design, but I just want to do it for effect. There we go. That's about right. Let's try again. I think one was hacked by blades. Ah, okay, let's have a look. I wonder if it attracts blades as well. We can try that. I didn't try that in testing. So can you pop the outpost, put that down, and it attracts abilities? I don't think it will. We can have a look. Put that there out of the way. We'll get the MDS out of the way as well. No, we want the MDS actually. We're going to try and destroy it. So let's have a go. Such an uneven base. I know I hate uneven bases, but as I say to everyone, listen, these test bases are made for particular reasons. So you want to test them in test environments. So I don't just test these bots. People come in the VIP chat or my Discord server and go, Wozza, I've noticed this. Why ain't this working properly? Or how does this work? And I go and test it. So, you know, these things sort of change. Okay. So we're going to put the mine right in the middle there. And then we're going to put Rook's Hollow there as well. That explodes. Then Rook's Hollow is taking the bombardment. And there we go. Then we put Rook's Hollow down. Then we put the mine down. There's the mine. There's the Hollow. And there's the area gone. We'll just throw dust up in here, just to help him get through the base a minute. There we go. Just want to get him closer. So let's try this. We still need more ability points though. That's the problem. Let's try again. We're going to try again. I want to see what happens if we put the outposts. Nice base setup, Wozza. Yeah, it's not the best base setup. Like I said, it's just for test environments. Cool. So I want to see blades. So let's put blades there. And I want to see what happens if we put the outpost blades, then put the mine down. Will it attract blades as well? Will it attract outposts? That could be game changing. David Rowling just put, I like that style. What? Just everything thrown together? Because that's pretty much what's happened. I know that. Yeah, true. So Rook's Hollow does. So I don't know. We'll try and pop in one side and then put the thing. So which one does it prioritize? I'd imagine it prioritizes maybe Grapple. I don't know. It's weird. Hard to say. Make sure Rook can get in range first. So we're going to go Rook and then Grapple. So Rook pops it. And yes, so it does look like it doesn't attract abilities still. Don't understand why. But that's interesting. Because Blades has hacked Rook's Hollow, it hasn't done any damage. That's new to me. Is that intentional? Who knows? But yeah, as you can see, pretty decent bot on the whole. And is it an upgrade to Rook? Yes, definitely is. Is it different than Rook? Yeah, it definitely is. Will it be better than Rook in the future as we go through better HQ upgrades? Most likely, yes. So yeah, I would, say to people that, Grapple is a good bot. I think we've done a good job in testing. I think is where it needs to be. Personally, I would have liked the timer a bit longer. I think that 10 seconds is around the same sort of length of time that Rook lasts. I think that 10 seconds at the cost it's at is good. But personally, I would rather have had a higher cost at 15 seconds. I'd rather have it lasted a lot longer because I think that maybe at its current cost, it can be spammed a bit. We can try it on this battle and see how far we get through. But I think that if you constantly spam the mine, you can just easily get through the base. If you put in Rook with it as well, it reduces the cost because of the repeat cost. So if you put in Rook with Grapple, then maybe. So, I've got Blaster in my team, 5-star Blaster. Will Grapple replace Blaster? No, I don't think it will. Will it replace a healer? Maybe. Would a 5-star Grapple replace Blaster? Oof. I think Blaster's brilliant. I really do. So, it is a 4-star bot. Don't get me wrong. But I think in terms of catch-up mechanics, it's a great bot for people to chase. It's a great bot for people to won. And ultimately, yeah, it is a good bot. It's not game-changing like Chromia was. I think Chromia was totally game-changing. Most bots around that time were 10 seconds stun. She was 30 seconds. 30 seconds stun. People said it's going to break the game. People said it's ridiculous and it's not going to work. She's going to get nerfed. And she didn't. It's still the same. People found ways around it. And, there is a lot of stun in the game. And we've suggested that we have some bots that have some kind of anti-stun passive, maybe, rather than an anti-stun ability. Have an anti-stun passive on them. There's always options to go around. But I wouldn't say it's game-breaking like Chromia, but a very good addition. So we're going to do a bit of a walk. I'm just going to try and just use... We have got 3 healers. So we're going to try and use Grapple and Rook. Nope, we're not going to use healers. I nearly did. We don't want Blaze to hack our bots, hopefully. So let's just see that there. That's fine. No worries. Then we're going to go up there like that. Right in the middle, you can see straight away it's attracting defenses. Now, the mortars will still hit my bots because the range of the mine is outside that of the mortars. But you can see there, the amount of damage just on there is ridiculous. It's just cleared the area. Because the bots are closer than the mine is, they're still prioritizing the bots. Don't forget that. Grapple's dead. Let's use punch then. See what punch can do. If you can get out of that stun with Chromia. I think this is a failing battle, to be honest with you. This is why Chromia is such a pain. See, he's not stunned by the shock tower there. He's stunned by Chromia, that's the problem. But you can see that just using Grapple there, cleared quite a big area. You know, there was lack of DPS in there, to be honest. I was only using one bot. I had 3 healers. But, you know, the amount of damage does incredible on that mine. More than Rook does. Like I said, almost 3,000. Sorry. Hang on a minute. Let me get my facts right. No, almost 3,500. Almost 4,000. Yeah, almost 4,000 damage. Now, that's sort of unheard of. That's a lot of damage. So, yeah, good bot. Really good bot. Good addition to the game. Well done, testers. And well done, Space Tape. So, yeah, as we covered today, it's been a great week for leaderboard rewards. Punch has got a great update. I think he could be used a lot more. I think we'll see him a lot more in wars. I'd love Punch as a 5-star. I think it'd be absolutely incredible. I think it'd be up there in some of the best bots in the game. If you can hack for like 15 seconds, it'd be incredible. Grapple, another great 4-star bot for people to chase, I think. And will I be leveling him? Yeah, I'll definitely be leveling him. Will he replace Rook? I'm not too sure. People are doing anti-Goldie bases right now, so it's hard to pop all the outposts. And having another option of bot that will pop an outpost, you know, is a really good option. But for those that, you know, don't use Rook, for those that don't have 5-star blaster, for a 4-star bot, an amazing addition. Really is worth getting, guys. So yeah, if a bundle does pop up with him, Hoist, Scattershot, they're all great bots. And you know, Scattershot was good, not amazing. I think Hoist was very good, and I think Grapple is very good. Personally, I want to push these bots to be amazing, so that when these bundles come out, if you buy a bundle, you're really going to get a really good bot out of that bundle. So, thanks to everyone for watching. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to make sure you hit a like on that video, guys. Make sure you subscribe. You know, it costs you absolutely nothing to do that, but it means a lot to me. The more likes I get on videos, the more subscribers I get. It just pushes me on to do more content and continue what I'm doing. If you want somewhere to just hang out, a good place for information, you got any questions, anything at all, join my Discord server. We've got all the latest info in there on bundles, events. We've got a bit of fun section. We're updating it all the time. People in there will tell you that we just keep doing update after update. We've got a few more updates we want to do. I've just updated all the ability 11 sections with all max bots in there, so you can check that out if you want to see how far your bot can push. And we're going to add a new section in there, hopefully this week or next, depending on time. So yeah, we're just pushing the server, guys. Trying to get more subscribers, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers this year. Current rate, we might pull a bit short, hence why every streamer just say, listen, try and subscribe, guys. Only 25% of people that watch my streams are subscribed. So come on, subscribe, guys. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Yes, there will be a stream on Saturday where I will be doing a bit of power leveling. For this event, we'll be looking at the top 10, seeing if there's a big race and where we're placing. Hopefully they can finish in top 10. I'm confident we've got some good players. We've got a good team. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Really appreciate it. See you on Saturday. See you next Wednesday. We will talk a bit more about Ability 11 Batch 3 and some new G1 course. Hot off the press. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.